Good morning everyone, I'm Phil Bacon, I'm from Marketing Managed and I appreciate you spending the time with me today. We're live on LinkedIn, so please drop your questions into the comment box and I'll tackle as many of them as possible near the end. We'll also be sending a replay out afterwards. Today we're going to cover 4 things: the visibility gap, why accounting software cannot show real-time operations, what a properly implemented CRM adds, 8 success factors, and also an in-depth case study of how Mars surfaced a £4.5 million pipeline. First of all, we're going to tackle the visibility gap. Let's test something. If a customer phones you right now, "Where is my order?" Could you answer it in 60 seconds without opening 3 systems and ringing the shop floor? Most owners I meet cannot. That gap is the visibility gap. At a round table about a month or so ago, 8 manufacturing MDs confessed that they still rely on spreadsheets that live on one engineer's desktop. There's paper that travels around the business and that may not get updated. So the day shift, the night shift, they're not talking to each other. And then end of month reports that lock the past, but they don't say what's going to happen tomorrow, and there's no forward planning, no financial pipeline, and also no operational pipeline. Now here's the kicker for that. During that round table, one of them actually learned they had a £120,000 build that waited for 3 days because of a missing drawing. Found out only when the customer complained on the Friday afternoon that they hadn't had sign off yet. 3 waited days and a very, very awkward phone call that nobody really enjoys. Surveys show that between 50 and 70% of all CRM projects fail or stall. The culprit is not technology, but it's siloed data, unclear goals and low adoption. Until live operational information is as easy to reach as the P&L, leaders will always steer by tail light. Next we need to talk about why accounts do not equal real-time operations. Your finance package is designed for compliance and historical accuracy. Periods are closed, figures are reconciled, and the ledger becomes read-only. Perfect for auditors, HMRC, and the finance team, but useless for forecasting tomorrow's bottlenecks. What it can't do, it can't flag that there is RFQs that have been unanswered for 48 hours. It can't show what the laser cutter's utilisation is next Thursday. It can't warn you that a service ticket is about to breach your 2-day service level agreement. Now think about the daily ritual this forces: exporting from Sage, pasting into Excel, bringing in the works manager, colour coding everything, emailing the sheet to half a dozen people, and then by the time you've hit send, everything's changed anyway. It's not real time, it's not helpful. And the hidden costs are if 5 departmental heads each have to spend 1 hour a day curating this data to go into the shadow system. That's 1,250 hours a year, more than 30 working weeks that could have been invested into other projects or product development. Alternatively, you could look at it that you've paid for almost an entire member of staff just for updating data that could have been done through systems and automation. Now, finance tells you what's happened. Good management also needs to know what is going to happen and what is likely to happen, and that's where a properly implemented CRM earns its keep. What does a CRM add though? And a fit-for-purpose CRM becomes your live control panel. Key wins for engineering and manufacturing companies include live pipeline, every quote, every order, every renewal, all in a single view. A capacity alignment, sales see the same forward loading chart that the production sees, so they can match up to what they promise. We all know that sales will go out and tell the customer everything they want to hear. Then what happens is it get down to production, and production go, we can't fulfill on that because we've got 20 other orders stacked up and we're already 3 weeks behind. So that's what you need. Then you want a single customer record. Finance, projects and service all pull from the same fact, and you can kill duplicate data off by aligning it all within your CRM. The numbers back this up as well. Companies that embed a CRM report a 42% improvement in sales forecasting accuracy. Better forecasting means smarter purchasing, fewer expedites, and increased profit. Now, what sort of return on investment? Well, Here's the thing. Most people will see a CRM as a cost. It isn't. It's an investment. Your return on investment is equally clear. Nucleus Research did some long-running benchmarking showing that CRMs pay back about around 8.7 times what is invested in them. So let's say you invest £2,000 in it today, you're going to get some £18,000 back from that investment. Okay, those numbers are quite low, but it's a return that you didn't have before, and that's because you're going to be saving time and making better decisions. Most of this in the manufacturing world comes from faster quoting and reduced overtime and better win rates. No surprise then that analysts expect that the global CRM market to rise from roughly 113 billion in 2025 to around 263 billion by 2032, and growing at just over 12% a year. Those numbers are crazy, right? But they're true, because everybody wants that centralized, easy to use data. Investment is flowing because leaders want that real-time view of the factory floor. So we're now going to look at 8 success factors for implementing a CRM. You own the objective. Choose one metric that everybody understands. For example, quote turnarounds in under 24 hours. Put it on the whiteboard, review it weekly and celebrate early wins. Yeah, whiteboard. An offline method. But you're using your CRM to give you that data. Eventually you'll become reliant on your CRM and you won't need to use your whiteboard anymore. Process before software. Map the ideal flow first. If an arrow loops back or vanishes into an email, you know exactly where to simplify before opening the CRM settings menu. Data hygiene. Archive zombie contacts, merge duplicates, standardize part numbers. Dirty data destroys users' trust on day one. So make it right. Get everything aligned so that all systems point to the same data and have the richest data possible. Your user involvement. When you're trying to bring a CRM in play, you need to find the most skeptical person in the team that is going to be absolutely against it. And you want to bring somebody from accounts. And you want to bring somebody in from sales. Get those people together so that they bond with each other over it. Drag them into a design workshop and then they become the spearheads in their departments for implementation and adoption. This is where we go into a phased rollout. So going live with a core quoting or contact management system only. Don't roll out everything. Prove that it's got value over the first 4 weeks. Then add service. Then add marketing automation. Each time you're taking that small win, and it beats trying to create everything all at once and just achieving, chaos. Next up, we need to look at integrating the essentials only. So a little bit like mapping out your flow and doing phase rollout, only bring the essentials in. If you only need the ERP function and the email tracking, only roll that out. Then roll out the other bits and pieces that you need. So you might want a support desk. Roll that out next. Leave anything that's super niche that you don't need until everything else is stable and everybody has adopted it, because that's going to be the most sensible and straightforward way to do it. Invest in coaching and training. Ring fence at least 20% of your budget for your CRM for enablement. Blend that with classrooms, floor walks, cheat sheets, virtual teaching, virtual support, and build the skills and confidence. That confidence then builds the usage, which means that your investment is an investment and you're going to get what you need back from it. And finally, we look at governance. Reviewing data quality on a dashboard every month. Green is good, amber needs attention, red triggers an owner and a deadline to actually get it right. Consistency helps keep that data honest. Gartner's Pulse survey still pegs the average failure rate at 50% when any of these pillars fail, which goes back to what we talked about earlier on, where over 50% of CRMs fail because of poor planning. Now we're going to look at MAR. What we did was we turned a decade of disconnected data into a £4.5 million pipeline with predictability. MAR, who are a precision metrology specialist, had 10 years of sales and marketing and support information scattered across 3 different systems. and duplication was choking any decision making and any sort of pipeline intelligence. So we went through their 3 headline pains which were stopping growth. Quotations, millions of pounds in quotes were not in a single view, so nobody knew what was going on. Follow-up wasn't happening because there was no single view and people were putting things into different places. Patchy and minimal follow-up because data lived, like I said, data lived in several systems. And they were feeling financially unfulfilled because of lower conversion rates and they're losing market share. To fix that, they needed real-time answers to 3 key questions. Conversion projections. Which quotes are most likely to close, scored by past and current engagement? Sales interaction analysis. How frequently and how recently the team had contacted each prospect. Purchase history. How often each customer buys machinery revealed patterns and potential for renewal windows. Marge set strict data arrangement criteria. 1 unified data set with perfectly matched records, clear flags for unmatched, outstanding and orphaned items, visibility of full and partial record matches enriched with recent activity and historic spend. We built a solution using Alteryx and we followed 4 discipline steps. Field refinement, fixing formats, removing non-Western characters, tidying white spaces and standardizing numbers and text. Data cleansing, removing duplicates, grouping contacts by company and totaling every quoted value. Integration, merging 2 of their systems into one by email address, then blending that with the final source and the 10 years of purchase history. Then we went into quality assurance. We went back to doing things by hand. We did manual visual checks and exported that clean data into Excel. That data then got manually checked, and if it passed, it got re-imported into their core system. So the follow-up actions that made that data usable from day one. The sales team cleaned orphaned and unmatched records by hand because they had additional data that was not stored anywhere in any of their systems. We're able to give them a ranked list of the top 50 opportunities that had values of over 2,500, some of them into the hundreds of thousands. A hot leads list were highlighting customers with outstanding quotes but with no previous purchases. Now that might sound strange that they were the hot ones, but actually they were the ones that needed the most attention because they needed more nurturing. The ones that had purchased before just needed to be reminded. What was the outcome though? 1 trustworthy prospect roster that segments highly convertible, nurturable and re-engageable leads with fewer orphan records after each refresh and reusable data assets for major campaigns. Most importantly, Mars surfaced a £4.5 million pipeline for the UK with data they already owned. So we're going to go to do something for you now. I want you to put 1 hour aside, a data reality check. I want you to put that in your diary. And in that reality check, I want you to do a few things. Step 1, I want you to list every data source, your CRM, your ERP, your marketing systems, your spreadsheets, your whiteboards, the scrap of paper that you keep in the back of the drawer. Step 2, I want you to score each source for accuracy and freshness out of 5. 1 being inaccurate and old, 5 being accurate and current. Anything below a 3 is a risk. Step 3, I want you to draw red arrows where staff have to rekey data. Each arrow equals hidden costs and potential for error. Then I want you to go through and I want you to fix the largest red arrow first. This usually sits between sales and production. And that then helps you to secure an early win and start building momentum on the idea of having a single source of truth. If you want guidance turning that audit into a phased roadmap, more than happy for you to book time with me. We can then go through and benchmark everything up against the 8 success factors and outline a realistic plan for you. Thank you for joining me. If you have any other questions, drop me a direct message or drop me an email. My email address is Philip with 1 L, so PHILIP @marketingmanaged.agency. and either I can answer it by email or we can book a call. Remember though, your account system records history. A properly configured CRM shows the present and predicts the future. And I wish you a productive afternoon.